The Skin I'm In, Chapter 5. When I get home, Mama's waiting at the door to take me downtown to buy new clothes. She says she got a bonus at work, so she has some extra cash to throw around for once. I don't care how she got the money, just as long as I get to spend some of it. So here I am today looking fine. I got on enough lip gloss to shine a car, and I have a crease in my pants sharp enough to cut somebody. For the first time, and who knows when, I look like somebody, and Charlize Jones ain't had nothing to do with it. At school, everybody's staring at me. Even John John's doing a double take. When I walk into class, all eyes is on me. Char's the only one that's got something negative to say. So your mama finally broke down and bought you some clothes? It's about time, she says, as soon as we get to Miss Saunders' class. When I walk in Miss Saunders' room, she's already given out an assignment. We get to work on this assignment with someone else, she says. Charlize lets Miss Saunders know that me and her are going to be partners. Char's figuring I'll do all the work, but Miss Saunders is hip to that game. She says she's picking our partners. She hooks me up with Desda. Char don't like that one bit. She picks up her stuff and walks out the room. Miss Saunders acts like Char's leaving don't bother her none. Deza is a short, fat girl sitting by the door. Everyone in school knows she can cook up a storm. Turkey, stuffed chicken, gravy, three cheese macaroni, pasta salad, fried steak, lasagna. She's won all kinds of cooking awards. She even won $500 for a Pillsbury bake-off contest. She calls her recipe Deza's Darling's Delicious Double Dutch Chocolate Chip Cake. She never will spend the $500 prize money though, and scholarship money for college. And Deza can't hardly read what the award says, let alone try to get into a college. I hear Miss Saunders going to start tutoring Deza. Yeah, right. I'm thinking Deza's going to read on grade level when pigs fly. Anyhow, Miss Saunders asked the class to pretend we're teenagers living in the 17th century. We have to write a diary chronicling our experiences. John John raises his hand and asks, why we got to do this assignment anyway? Don't make no sense to me, he says, frowning. Miss Saunders looks like she's thinking hard for a good reason herself. Her fingers go up on her lips. Her eyes check out the ceiling like she's going to find the answer up there. I want you to know what it feels like to live in somebody else's skin and to see the world through somebody else's eyes, she says. Miss Saunders takes a deep breath, closes her eyes, then tells us to do the same. When you were little, you loved to play pretend, to be G.I. Joe or Barbie. This is the same thing, playing pretend, she says. G.I. Joe a punk. Don't nobody want to be him, John John yells, cracking up the whole class. You get to be anyone you like, Miss Saunders says, walking toward him. She tells us that this is an exercise that will show her how well we write and use our imaginations. So no more grumbling, she says. Get to work. Now, I look at Desda. She's sitting there showing off her big white teeth and licking her lips like they candy. At first, I don't say nothing. I roll my pencil around on the desk. I wait for Desda to start things, but nothing happens. Desda doesn't say nothing for 10 whole minutes. Then here comes Miss Saunders. Like she's Big Ben the clock. I hope you and your partner are using your time wisely. You only have 20 minutes left. I rip out some loose leaf paper and start writing. This here's what we're going to do. I tell Desda. She doesn't say nothing. She is just smiling and picking some crud cakes from her eyes. So I get started without her. At first, I pretend I'm a girl living in a drafty castle, and I hate it because my parents don't got enough candles to light the place. Then I start thinking, back then I would have been a slave, maybe a slave girl in the bottom of a boat. chained to a boy with the prettiest eyes and some girl who keeps stealing my little scraps of food, skinny and stinking and starving and all the time next to a cute boy who I like so much it hurts. I started to write. Dear Diary, I hate fish, but I could eat a whole whale right now. I haven't had nothing much to eat for 3 days, 3 weeks, or is it 5 weeks? Watery rice with maggots in it is all they give us here. Mama used to always say I was the skinny one. She would cry if she saw me now, all ribs and knees, ankles, big as yams. Worse than no food and stink everywhere is having Kinjari see me now. Mama would say I am a vain and foolish girl, here dying and wondering about some boy, what some boy thinks about me. But I can't help it. In my village, Kinjari's family would know my family and maybe arrange for us to be married, even at my age, 13. But no one would ask to marry me like this, sitting in my own filth, my head shaved clean to keep lice away, skin dry and ashy like tree bark, ate away by the desert wind. Day in and day out, Kinjari eyes me, staring like he sees the sun rising in my eyes. I want to ask him why he looks at me that way. Am I something so beautiful he can't help but stare? I keep quiet. Beauty is where one finds it, my father used to say. Sometimes, when I awake, I am so close to Kinjari, I can smell his breath. Like mine, it is awful, but I don't care. It is good knowing he is near, knowing he was near. I mean, I was sick, bad, for a long while. When I woke up, Kinjari was gone, dead. He had the mark, the pox. The girl chained to me said, sucking her front teeth like they were soup bones. The slaver tossed him over the side, she said. But this one, she steals my food. Can I trust her with the truth? I don't know. Akima. I read the diary letter to Desda. She asked how I came up with that girl's name, Akima. It's close to my name, spelled backwards, I tell her. How come you don't talk proper like Akima talks in her diary? She asks. Don't nobody talk like that for real. Only people in old movies and books. Then I tell her how before he died, my father read me books where people spoke like that. Some of it stuck, I guess. Miss Saunders picks up the papers and starts reading some out loud. Don't read mine, I think, turning my head to the wall. Desda raised her hand and asked Miss Saunders to read ours. Miss Saunders says it's the best, most thoughtful piece she's heard so far. Desda, Malika, good job, she says. Desda smiles. She sits up straight and tall and shows off them giant teeth of hers. I should be pissed off at her since she didn't do a dang thing to help me write my essay. But today, I've got on my new clothes and I'm feeling mighty fine. I don't crack on Desda. Nothing or nothing. I just get myself on out of there. I don't even answer Char when she calls for me to come her way. This is my day, and I'm not about to letting nobody spoil it. Nobody. Miss Saunders has a great idea, though. She pulls me and Desna aside and says she wants us to keep doing this assignment. No one else, just us. Desna asks what we're going to get out of it. Extra credit is all. Desna pulls out right then, admits she didn't have nothing to do with the writing the assignment, that I did all the work. Miss Saunders turns around to me. Desna walks off. I don't know, but maybe it's these new clothes and all, but I say okay. I don't want to spoil my good mood by telling no teacher where to get off today. Besides, I like writing that stuff. I didn't tell that to Miss Saunders, though. She could use it against me somehow. Chapter 6. One minute, I'm walking down the hall, watching people watching me in my new clothes. The next minute, Daphne Robinson is all up in my face, ready to fight. She's saying she found out I was kissing her boyfriend in the hall the other day. Warren wasn't sucking my lips off. he was kissing Charlize. I want to yell, but I don't. Bad things happen around here to people who can't keep their mouth shut. I keep stepping and tell Daphne she's got the wrong girl, but I ain't as cool as I seem. My fingers are starting to shake and my throat is dry as toast. Daphne's itching for a fight. I can feel it. The next thing I know, she's grabbing hold of my braids. She got them wrapped around her hands like boxing tape and is punching me upside the head with them. I am taller than Daphne, so it seems like all I have to do is reach down and slap her off me like a bug. I'm pushing her away as best I can. Only every time I do it, it feels like my hair is being ripped from my scalp. Kids are yelling all around me. Beat her butt good. Ain't nobody got no right to steal your man. Teachers say to break it up and for kids to move so they can stop this thing. Char's just standing there eating a candy bar like she's at the movies. I'm eyeing her, hoping maybe she'll jump in or at least say she was the one that was kissing Worm. She digs the chocolate out from between her teeth and takes another bite of candy. All of a sudden, here comes Miss Saunders, pushing her way past everybody to where me and Daphne are fighting. I never thought I'd be so glad to see that woman, but I am. She's pushing her way through the crowd like there ain't nobody at McClinton big or bad enough to stop her. I don't know what's gotten into me. I ain't no fighter, never fought one day in my life. But all of a sudden, I feel strong when I see Miss Saunders headed my way. So I raise my hand in the air and give Daphne some of what she's been giving me. Next thing I know, Miss Saunders grabbing hold of my hand, telling me to cut it out. Big mistake. Now Daphne's got the chance to get in one last hit. She takes her hand, the one with Worm's dad's big basketball ring on it, and smacks me across my face. My cheek puffs up like hot cookie dough. I can feel the blood oozing down to my chin. Miss Saunders shoves her hands in her suit pocket and pulls out tissues like she's got a box of them stashed away. The principal starts breaking up the crowd, telling everyone to move along or come to his office. Next thing I know, Daphne is gathering up snot in her throat like she's summoning up demons. Before I can even think about it, that big green slimy stuff comes flying my way, landing right on my shirt. Charlize is one of the first people to crack up. The principal, Mr. Pajoli, has got Daphne by one hand and is telling her to come to his office. Miss Saunders has got them tissues rubbing blood and snot off of me, still holding my arm like I'm going to do something dangerous. Get off me, I say, jerking my arm away. Why don't you go back where you come from? That will be enough, Mr. Pajali says, heading my way. What she's doing here anyway, Mr. P, I say, holding my face. She don't know what she's doing. Mr. Pajali takes me by the elbow and tells some kids to get me to the nurse's office. He takes Daphne with him. She's mouthing off, saying, if she gets suspended, I better too. Miss Saunders has got her arm raised, telling people to get to class. Me, I'm just wondering when she's going to get out of my life.